Welcome to Slow Home Studio. Too many people live in badly designed houses, and we want to change that.
Well, first of all, I want to welcome Matthew back to the studio after having a whole day off.
I had one day off.
For celebrating Easter. And today what we're going to be doing is answering a viewer question from Deb in Calgary, who has a question about sound insulation in slow homes.
Yes, she writes to us, I live in a 1930s bungalow in Calgary, which has virtually no insulation in the walls.
No surprise.
That's a typical condition. I have noticed that external sound from traffic transmits through the walls. Would a slow home also include creating an oasis of sorts with minimal outside noise?
Absolutely.
And if
Absolutely.
so, what would you recommend for a cost-effective solution to reducing noise in our homes without compromising on windows and light in an existing building? And how would you utilize insulation, carpets, or other options to best advantage to solve this issue? From Deb in Calgary.
Well, I think, first of all, it's tough to get a cost-effective solution because you're really going to have to deal with the outside envelope of the house. You really can't deal with outside noise with carpets and those kinds of things. So the first thing I would say, if you really need to be cost-effective, is to try and manage what it is that you're actually trying to isolate. And instead of maybe fixing the whole house, look at those critical parts of the home that really need to be sound isolated and concentrate on those. It might be, if you really need a quiet bedroom, you need to locate yourself into the back of the house where it's a little bit less noisy. Once you've done all of that, then you need to move to some technical solutions, and that's what Matthew's going to talk about.
Yeah, and the good thing about these technical solutions is you don't have to do all of them at once. I think you have to come up with an overall plan, and you can attack them one thing at a time, so you can minimize the cost or have it spread out over time a little bit. The first thing to look at, of course, is your windows. Windows are notoriously bad in 1930s houses. They've outlived their service life. There's a lot of air leakage, which also means there's going to be sound getting in. They're often single-paned windows. So if you can, the first thing to do would be to look at upgrading your windows to a double or triple pane, making sure they're properly installed, sealed, and insulated all the way around.
That's right, and all of the things that you do like this to improve sound efficiency is also going to improve thermal efficiency, which is going to save you money and reduce your impact on the environment, which is also a good thing.
Yeah, and the second thing I would look at would be the doors. And if you have a door that is an older door, you may want to consider upgrading that to a solid core insulated door. The other thing you can do is you can simply look at your doors and make sure that your weatherproofing, your weather stripping is in good condition and is sealing properly, and that your sill is sealing properly. A lot of times that doesn't happen in older houses, and you get a lot of noise and air as well through the gaps around the door.
And if you are looking for a new door, look at the STC rating, which is the sound transmission rating, and make sure that it's high enough so that you're actually buying something that will make a difference.
Yeah, and then I would also then, if you've dealt with the windows and doors and you were going to look at upgrading your exterior cladding, I would look at doing some rigid insulation under either your siding or your stucco, because the rigid insulation is also going to help to reduce sound transmission through your walls, plus give you some increased R value.
And then our final recommendation doesn't actually have to do with the house at all. It has to do with the surroundings, and that's landscaping. And you can make good use of trees, hedges, other kinds of soft landscaping that will absorb sound and really prevent it from reaching the house in the first place. And that can be a very effective thing to do.
So we hope that these were some suggestions that you can use, Deb, and we'd also be interested to hear if any of the viewers that are watching have any other suggestions that we didn't think of. You can post a comment onto the site and we can have a discussion about that.
And remember to send in your questions if you've got any for Matthew and I to answer. And tomorrow we're going to continue our discussion of the Calgary apartment loft.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.